So back with Rylee, we're talking about England. So I know you're a keen England follower. You've been to how many games would you say, roughly?
You know what, it's not that many, it's rising. I think it's probably just over 20, 25, around that mark.
Quite a lot of away games.
Yes, yeah, I've been to 5 or 6 countries, which has been good.
Wow.
So I got into it. With Southend, I love it. It's my life, and you speak to any of my mates and they say describe Rylee in one word, it'll probably be Southend.
Yeah.
But there was a time when I wanted a break, and it was when we was at our absolute lowest, and when it's 24/7 it could be quite overwhelming.
Yeah.
But I love football, but there's no other team. I don't have a second team or a Premier League team or anything like that. But I've always enjoyed watching England on the big screen. And I thought, oh, well, that would be a nice break, because I love travelling, I love football. Go to England, you get them both.
Yeah.
So I signed up for a membership to join the travel club.
Yep.
And obviously there's so many members, so at the start I could only do home games, which was fun. And then I remember managed to convince one of my mates to get a membership. And obviously the way they do it is a ballot, so it's 70 for the most loyal, 20 for people who've been to the away game, and then 10% for basically potluck. And we both got lucky for Malta away. And we bought the tickets, and my mate said to me, how are we going to get there? I was like, don't worry about that, just buy the tickets. And then you go on Skyscanner, try and find some cheap flights.
Yeah.
And there were no cheap flights,
Yeah.
because obviously everyone was going to Malta.
Yeah.
And we managed to find 2. I think it was with Wizz Air from Luton. I said, well, let's just do it. Like, it's going to be an experience. I think we was in Malta for 10 and a half
Beautiful
hours.
place.
Yeah, what I saw of it.
Yeah.
It was a flying visit. I think we landed at 4 p.m. Went to the hotel, got our tickets, stopped off for a beer in the high street, if you can call it that, and then hopped in the bus or whatever it was to Malta Stadium. And I saw my mate out there from uni, and I said to him, "Oh, where are you staying?" He said, "Oh, I'm not. I'm going straight back to the airport." What do you mean? Like, there's no flights? He's like, "Yeah, my flight's at 10 a.m. I'm going to sleep in the terminal." I was like, are you crazy?
That's a football story.
Exactly that.
Only football.
I was like, "Where's your stuff?" He was like, "Well, I've got all I need." And he opened his pockets out, and he had a phone wire charger, no plug or anything, his wallet and his passport. I was like, "You're a braver man than me."
Football.
I was like, "Where's your house keys?" He was like, "Oh, I didn't bring them. It's easy to travel light." And I said, "We'll come back to our hotel, like sleep on the floor, watch the game. We won 4-0. It was great."
I was actually at that game.
Oh, brilliant!
I've done probably, looking back, maybe 60, 70 England games.
Wow.
And I've only done one away, and that was Malta, that game.
Brilliant.
So I remember, I'll put it on Facebook, check in, and you did as well. I remember texting you, you were here as well. It wasn't the best game, was it? But it was just a great experience to go and see you away. And
to be honest, I was busy topping off my tan. I didn't pay much attention.
well, I was actually on holiday, and a friend of mine, Maltese, was there. He managed to get us tickets.
Brilliant.
So we were kind of lucky, really.
Yeah. It was great. So we got back to the hotel, and we was the ground floor room. And obviously you play over in your head, how's this going to play? Is security going to stop us? What are we going to say? I said, well, I'll go in first, and then you leave it 10 minutes, and you two come in after. Rocked up, and the bloke on reception was sleeping, and we just walked straight past him. I think my mate, he's 6'4" or 6'5", and he literally had to sleep like a baby just to fit on the floor. I remember going to the toilet at midnight. I tripped over him, headbutted the door, and it was just a great experience.
Great football wave stories.
And our flight was, I think, 8 a.m. So didn't even have much sleep. Got straight to the airport, came back.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly that. And the other one went to Poland, and again, where my caps were so low, I was only getting tickets in the ballot.
Yeah.
At which point flights had gone through the roof, or they were full booked. And I think the game was being played in Wrocław, or I'm probably butchering that name. Okay. And the only flights we could get were to Katowice.
Suave, I think it's pronounced.
I was definitely butchering that.
Oh, wife's Polish.
Oh, there we go. And I got a flight to Katowice, and we stayed at the airport there, and got the train to the game. I remember getting on the train, and the train just weren't moving. I was like, the departure time was like 40 minutes over. And we was in the carriage, and there was a guy next to us and a girl. And obviously the announcements are coming over in Polish, and I don't speak Polish. My mate definitely doesn't. And we're going, what is going on?
What a scenario.
Yeah, and the girl next to us said, oh, the police are on board, they're looking for a fugitive. I was like, oh my God. I think about 2 hours later, the train ended up moving. It was a 3.5 hour train. We got to the place, I'm not going to try and pronounce the name again. Again, you have to pick your ticket up at a hotel, so we rushed there. We went to the metro, no one could get on because everyone was there. Tried to get a train, couldn't get on. Tried to get a bus, couldn't get on. Was booking Ubers, but then people were just jumping in random Ubers.
Yeah.
And we managed to get one, and there was these two lads there. I was like, do you mind if we jump in with you? I was like, absolutely. Ended up chatting to them. They were 2 York City fans.
Right.
And it was a great story because we were chatting to them, and the week later they'd just donated to the fundraiser.
Yes, of course, yeah.
And that was brilliant. It was such a small world, and was chatting to them, and ended up being stuck in traffic. Couldn't get anywhere near the stadium, so we ended up just getting out of the thing and jogging, if you like, to the stadium. I think we got there like 25 minutes into the game. Had to leave early as well because we was going to miss our train, so I think I went all the way to Poland for about half hour of football. Obviously we was playing Ukraine. I think the game ended in a draw, and then it was a sleeper train back and an early flight. But those 2 York fans went to York 2 months later for, I think it was the Christmas game, just before Christmas. Yeah. And as if by luck, ended up bumping into them in the pub.
Oh, how funny.
So it was a really small world.
That's football, isn't it?
It is, and it's so fun. I mean, I love travelling. I love exploring new places, seeing new cultures, and being able to go to football as well is the dream, if you like, for me. Managed to go to Germany last year for the Euros. Spent, I think, 3 weeks out there, and that was a fantastic experience. We stayed in Cologne, fantastic city if you've never been, and it was a handful of us Southend fans who we'd met out there, to about 30 Scots. Like every Englishman, there was probably 30-50 Scots. And I went with a pal, and he said, don't wear your England shirt. I was like, I'm going to wear my England shirt. Walked out of the hotel and straight away thought, might have to go change.
Yeah, bad mistake.
No, do you know what? It was good fun. It was friendly banter. Kind of see them as little brother, if you like. They were happy to be there.
Little annoying brother.
they were happy to be there. We obviously had dreams of winning the tournament. And it was fantastic. Got chatting to them, and I remember there were 2 young Welsh lads in the bar. I just remember saying, "Are you lost? What are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, it's..."
But they took that way.
They said, "Oh, it was my birthday, and we booked it last year." And I was like, "Oh, you clearly thought you had a chance of qualifying."
Yeah.
And they were a good laugh. And I remember we was in this bar, and it was probably 98% Scottish, 1% Welsh, 1% English.
Wow.
And obviously you can imagine the sort of stuff they were saying to me. And
I've been in that scenario, which we'll come to.
And my mate had a phone call and he went out, and I'd been drinking all day, so I wasn't really with it. That's probably why I was so accepting being in this pub. And I looked at my phone and it was like 45 minutes later. I was like, where is he? I just look out the door and I could see him trying to get in. The bouncer weren't letting him in.
Wow.
He was like, I'm going back to the hotel. I was like, I'm staying here. Stupid idea. So there it was, me and a pub full of Scottish fans. And before you know it, I was on top of the bar singing the Proclaimers 500 Miles. I got the video on my phone, and
we've got to see that.
It was so good. I don't think I paid for a beer that entire night.
Brilliant. That's what it's about.
Exactly that. It was such good stories. I mean, it could have gone one or two ways.
Yeah.
They were great people, and it was fantastic. I mean, obviously the social media reception on, I think Cologne have adopted the Scots, haven't they? And I can see why. It was such an amazing experience and atmosphere, and I'd never experienced anything like it. You know, you was mingling with, at one point, Swiss people, and then it was Danish, and then it was Germans, and then it was Scottish, and then there was Spanish, and then we went to a fan zone. I think Turkey were playing Albania. And obviously you build up, you go, oh, keep my head down here, and then you go in and it's just a festival of fun. Yeah. And you know, everyone says football brings people together, and until that month I don't think I'd fully appreciated it. And you know, that whether there was language barriers, and you see people all wearing the shirts of their nation, having a kick around in a park, and it was great because you know what it's like. You look on the news and it's just doom and gloom, and everyone hates each other.
Yeah,
and then
it's not always the case.
it's not. There's so much. There's so many good people around, and football tournaments like that are what brings the best out in people, I think.
Super.